Good afternoon, guys, and good afternoon, and thank you guys for tuning in this afternoon. We have a story that's going to be brought to you out of where were you living at? Norfolk, Virginia Beach.
Virginia Beach.
Out of Virginia Beach, Virginia, with Antoine, and he wanted to bring this to social media because he feel as though when WTKR News Channel 3 came out and interviewed him for over an hour, his story was not properly aired on the news. He alleged that he got a lot of backlash from the way WTKR aired this story, and he feel as though what he was reaching for and what he was talking about was not completely understood because they edited it to the way they wanted y'all to see the story on Channel 3 News here out of Norfolk, Virginia. I am Rhoda Young Live, where I do not edit or anything to nobody's video, so what you see is actually what you get. If we have bloopers, the bloopers will be on this live here in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Guys, don't forget to come out this weekend to Know Your Numbers with Tony Brothers out of Norfolk, Virginia. This weekend Jazz Festival on Friday has been relocated from Town Center to Norfolk Oak due to the weathers that's coming here to Hampton Roads. If you have bought tickets for the Jazz Festival, meet us at Norfolk Oak. Also, Know Your Numbers, yay! This weekend, yes, Saturday at downtown Norfolk Marriott here out of Norfolk, Virginia, guys. Don't beat me there. Meet me there. There's a lot of great things going on at Norfolk Marriott this Saturday, and it's all for free. If you got someone that you want to meet that's famous, we'll be letting you know exactly which one will be there on tomorrow. That's going to be there for a certain event. Know Your Numbers, given by Centura Norfolk Healthcare and also Trudis Bank and also let's say Tony Brothers out of Norfolk, Virginia. How you doing, Antoine? Can you tell us what's going on and how did your story start?
Well, currently right now, I was contacted by the news in regards to my story with why tenants are still somehow being evicted, even though you got a certain moratorium and stuff like that going on. And basically, they was interested in my situation because the clear reason for why I got evicted, it wasn't because of money that wasn't steady or coming in. It was because my landlord, he was able to kind of find a loophole and basically evict me due to non-renewal. But even before that, we had a lot of tension going on with me and the landlord, with him, basically not fixing things such as like the AC unit. And I'm assuming and under the impression that those are things that landlord's supposed to take care of. So that kind of just started the battle. And like I said, I'm now here. I got evicted due to not being able to get my property renewed. I tried to work with the landlord. He didn't want to work with me, all the way to the point to where the rental people paid the back rent and also offered to pay 3 months forward. And he denied it. And as soon as he denied it, he came back to me wanting to try to just sue me for that part. So it's crazy.
Wow. So are you telling me that he took the money from the Virginia place that actually helped? Can you tell your children?
Yep.
Just a little bit.
Oh.
There you go. He actually took the money. How much money was it that he took from the system? Virginia got this program, guys, and right now they still assisting Virginia tenants. If you have any issues with paying your rent right now, I do have the phone number. I'll drop it in the link later, where they will assist you and your rental office with paying your rent and getting you from being behind in rent. So they gave you money.
Right.
How much money did they give you?
The rental people?
Yes.
They assisted me with like a little bit over $8,000.
Okay.
That paid the back rent.
They paid the back rent.
Mm-hmm.
And he accepted the money.
He accepted that money. Now, let me give you some context in regards to that, because I felt as though people was like, people always just want to use the system and made it as though that I just used that money just because I was being lazy or I didn't have no jobs or no etiquette behind, me trying to work stuff out and not just be mooching off of stuff.
Right.
That is not what occurred. Okay. I tried to work something out with him. He offered, him and his lawyer basically said that they would make certain arrangements like fixed AC. Well, I mean, as far as I'm sorry, by that time I paid for my AC. Okay. My AC broke.
All right.
I paid for my AC unit.
Out your own pocket.
Out my own pocket after sitting in 90 degree, 98 degrees weather for over like 4 weeks. I contacted him. He didn't hit me back. So I'm under the impression that, at this point I got to take care of it.
Right.
So moving on past that, I'm like, look, I'm having to take care of stuff. I need to basically at this point try to just stop all this.
Right.
I don't want to keep going back and forth to court.
Right.
So
how many times do you allege that y'all went back and forth to court?
Before November, it was twice that he tried to evict me. Originally in July, and then in I think it was October.
Now, before you the pandemic came, did you have a job where you working?
3. Yes, ma'am. Before the pandemic, I was working for the city of Virginia Beach. I was just starting my landscaping business, and I was a barber. And as you know, like May. No, it was March. It was in March when the pandemic really hit.
Right.
And shut everything down. Right.
Right.
So when they shut the barbershops, the schools shut down, landscaping, like I said in the article, it dried up because everybody's at this time just now going through the pandemic. They don't know what's really going on. So people tight with money. People ain't getting their grass cut as much.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So
what happened with your City of Virginia Beach job?
Being that my kids were at home, I had to take kind of a leave because, I got 7 kids. So they was at home and I had to be home to kind of assist them.
Right. So what happened was, okay, he do have 7 kids, guys. Mm-hmm. Okay. And so when the school shut down, someone had to be home with the kids. And this is what happened to a lot of people. So we're going to try not to judge too quickly. If he got 7 kids at home, who going to homeschool the kids? And who going to be home with the kids? All day. If the school shut down, who's going to help them with the online classwork? So you had to leave your Virginia Beach job to help with the kids.
Well, it was supposed to be temporarily. But, once you take certain amount of leave, your pay going to get docked and cut anyway. So basically based off of, how the city was going on, as far as like COVID protocols and stuff like that. I have an asthmatic child. So I definitely couldn't be at work around all of that stuff that was going on, bunched in trucks and possibly catching COVID. And my department actually later on after I left, that department caught it. So, I can't bring that type of stuff home. So I had to think about the safety of my kids in regards to that.
Wow. So y'all go back and forth to court, mm-hmm. and he finally found a loophole in the system
at the end
to get you evicted.
Yeah, which is basically just non-renewal.
So it wasn't for rent or anything like that.
No, I didn't owe him at all once the lease had ended. Not $1. He was paid up all the way. So like I said, the rental people tried to pay him extra 3 months, so it would have been paid up from my lease ended in March.
Right.
They would have been paid up all the way into June.
And he refused to take
to take that money and then turn right around and like, I'm gonna sue you for that now.
Wow. Is this guy white or black?
Black.
Wow.
It's supposed to be one of eyes, right?
Wow. So,
but let me get to that, the $7,500.
So $7,500. How did you end up $8,000 in arrears?
Exactly. Okay. So when we was at $7,500, when we went in July, the judge ordered a stay.
Right.
Until November.
Right.
So that means that we're not going back to court. We're not to even communicate until we get ready to go back to court unless we can resolve and work something out.
Right.
We're going through all of this. September comes, like I said, that's when my AC broke. He didn't fix that. I had to take money out of my pocket to go ahead and take care of that, right? Before November's court date, I'm like, look, I'm going to contact his lawyer. I say, look, man, everything that's due, I know we have to wait till the stay. We're going to go ahead and try to work this out. Talk to your client. What would he go ahead and work with? He's like, if you pay $7,500, my client will go ahead and stop the pursuit of the eviction. I'll fix your AC unit. I'll fix everything, and we'll be good. As soon as they got my money, like 2-3 days later, all of a sudden, he's not representing him no more. When I called a lawyer, he don't represent him no more.
Wow.
Just that fast. And then all of a sudden, my landlord is saying that, well, I never agreed to none of that.
Wow.
So now you got my $7,500, and now you still are in the pursuit to try to evict me still. So you just stole my $7,500, reneged on everything we just talked about.
Your agreement.
Our agreement. Because technically, if I wanted to be whatever, at that point, I could have just waited and made him wait in regards to receiving even that portion. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And made the rental people pay for all of that. But right. I didn't sit on my hands. I had his situation even in mind. To be like, I understand. And he was threatening, saying, if you're not paying me, I'm not fixing them.
Wow.
So I'm like, oh.
So did you stay there? I have to be 100 because these questions my people want to know.
Come on.
Did you stay there for complete? How much was your rent?
My rent was $1,450 a month.
Okay, so $1,450. So basically, you stayed there 6 months without paying rent.
Where? What time you
From so you got all the way back up to $7,500.
$7,500. No. See, that's the thing. I did not ever technically owe him.
Okay.
He was able to get in court and just sue me for the June's rent because at that point he still ain't fixed nothing. I was paid up all the way. When I initially moved in, I was paid up 3 months.
Okay.
I paid 2 months deposit and 3 months additional. So I came in the game.
How much money did you give him when you moved in?
Like $7,500.
You gave him $7,500 to move in
for 2 months rent and 3 months just to give myself a pillow. So this is how I started the game properly, so I can do right. Right. So then come time when I'm like, look, sir, I've been affected all 3 jobs, right? So we need to work together.
Right.
He like, look, I'm not trying to hear all that. Basically, if you don't have my money, I'm not fixing nothing. That's what he's telling me. I'm not fixing it. So if you don't pay me, I'm taking you to court and I'm going to evict you. I'm like, God damn. You feel me? Like how you still pursuing that? So then we go to court in June.
So how did he come up that you owe him? You say you gave $7,500. How did he come up that you owe him $7,500?
That's because that was the period that we were in the state. You see what I'm saying? He initially sued me for that 1 month.
Okay.
Right?
How did it get to $7,500?
It got to $7,500 because in July, that was the first month, the $1,400 that I had owed him, technically, what you were saying.
Okay, we had $1,400.
Right. And so therefore, when we went to court in July, the judge ordered a stay because of the moratorium, whatever that's called. My bad, I can't pronounce it.
I know what you're talking
about. Yeah. So each month until November, we weren't.
So you didn't pay between that time?
No, I did not pay him.
You didn't put the money into the escrow?
No. Okay. I did not put anything into no escrow. And the judge said you either can do that or work it out and figure out what you need to do. But once you come back in November, you need to have whatever because you can't stay nowhere for free. I understand that.
Right.
And so that's why at that time, he done did all of this. The AC broke. He ain't fixed nothing. And I'm trying to make sure coming up, I have a place to stay.
Right.
But as soon as I paid that $7,500, all of a sudden I get a note saying I'm not renewing. That was part of the game. Then he takes it back and saying he's not fixing nothing.
Wow.
So you see, that's how we got to the 75. Not because I just simply was withholding any rent. We was literally in a state.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay. So y'all was going through a court battle during the time. Mm-hmm. And that's how you, and so you had said, okay, since you want to take me back and forth to court, then I just hold the rent money to his court time.
Yes.
Okay. So when you got the phone call, when you did the interview with WTKR...
Well, it was a stay. It's not like I just choicely just said, I'm keeping your money.
Right.
The judge ordered a stay, which wasn't even to be reheard until...
You came back to court?
Yes.
Right. But the mistake that you made was the money should have went into escrow. If you had the money.
What you mean?
Escrow. Well, when you going through a landlord and a tenant issue, like you did, it's a program downtown Norfolk or any city that you live in.
I know what you're talking about in regards to where you can just stick the money in the court. So
right.
Decided.
So therefore, he could say you didn't pay him. The money would have just been held in the escrow account. And a lot of us don't know that. So I want to make sure.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I didn't know that.
Right, for future references.
I didn't know that at first, but I knew that.
So he could say you didn't pay your rent. No, it was paid. It just wasn't paid to you.
Right.
We'll let the judge decide who's going to get this money and who's not going to get the money.
Right.
You know, so like I sued someone before and I paid my money to escrow. When I walked on the court, I got all that money back.
Because they did you wrong?
They did me wrong. So I got the money back. I was given the judgment.
But don't forget, at that time, you had that rental thing already in place.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So I could have either utilized that early, but because he already was putting pressure on me to be like, I'm not fixing them.
Right.
Unless you pay me. How am I going to fix anything if you don't pay me? So I'm like, look, man, if this is the game you playing, I'm going to pay you.
Right.
You say you're going to fix X, Y, and Z, and he still don't do it.
So what is the issue the way WTKR News Channel 3 did your story? What is it that you didn't find or you didn't like the way they aired your story when they came out and interviewed?
Well, even the initial reason of saying why I was evicted, saying it was because the money wasn't steady. No, it was because he found a loophole and basically was able to evict me without that type of protection because he didn't want to renew. And he simply didn't renew due to personal issues, clearly, because if he felt like that, he wouldn't even accept my money and to tell me that he was going to kind of just stop doing this. He actually agreed to stop doing this, but then took my money him and the lawyer schemed out a way.
Right.
And that's really my gripe in regards
So
to
you
that.
hurt by that?
Yes, because if anything, I could have had utilized that money for my kids' Christmas or something.
Right.
Like I could have used that money to pay buy me more tools.
So you feel as though he tricked you out your money?
He did.
They want to know what's the landlord name. The landlord name.
His name is Anthony Owanzi. Anthony Owanzi. Yeah.
How many properties do he own?
What's crazy is he kind of owns it's like a 2-part. Like it was I don't know what kind of. He owns a townhouse.
Right.
But
duplex?
Yeah, like a duplex. So it was like 4 that he owned.
Okay.
And mind you, when all that was going on, he threw that person out across the street. He threw that person out across down the thing. So he cold. You cold.
So he threw a lot of his tenants out.
He cold.
As soon as the pandemic, they lifted the thing. Basically, he threw y'all out.
He had got rid of them before.
Wow. I want to ask you something else. What do you feel though WTKR News Channel 3 failed you? If you had the opportunity to speak to them, and like you said, you don't hold the reporter responsible because you know she got somebody on top of her.
Yeah.
But you talking about the people that's in the office. How do you hold? What would you say to them about the way they edited your video and they didn't get your message across?
Well, one, I mean, not even 2 of the 5 questions that she kind of allowed me to be long-winded on, as she said, kind of tell the story. It would have entailed how I exactly got evicted. And it kind of made it sound as though, you waited around for money. No. I only engaged in the rental program because I just got burnt by him and saying that we was going to work and arrange this out during the pandemic. So, of course, you're not getting anything for free. People try to make it seem as though the government giving you money ain't nothing for free. So, obviously, they've kind of equated us taking some kind of loss because I wouldn't have qualified for the rental if I didn't show that my business and my income and stuff like that really took a loss. So now it's a game.
And let me address Terry right now. Terry, no, you said I'm worried about the other news station instead of worrying about the problem. The problem is, if you read the title of the story, how Channel 3 News, WTKR, chopped up his story and his point wasn't given across. So while you sitting here trying to come at me, you get your facts straight, okay? The story is based on WTKR, and he feel as though they edited too much out of his story, and that's why I'm out here to share his story and how when you go and call the local news station, how they would edit your story to fit what they want it to say. So while you trying to check me, let me clap back on you real quick. What about that? And I'm going to save you this time and not block you. Back to the story.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, so before Miss Terry interrupted.
Before Miss Terry interrupted, we wanted to address Channel 3. You saying you just wish that they didn't edit it the way they did to make you felt as though it made you look bad because you said the comments that you was getting from the way the news footage aired it.
Right. Now, mind you, I'm thick-skinned with that. So, I mean, it's not the point of what you're saying, talking about 7 kids and all this. It was the fact that what we discussed and the fact that the reporter kind of gave me her word that the whole reason for that was to share my story because she understood that I was kind of duped over by the landlord, and the landlords are kind of giving this type of leverage to where the tenants, you kind of hushed. So, with that being going on, I thought she was going to at least share a little bit of that, and at least share some information in regards to if somebody wanted to help, you can reach out and do that. But they didn't do any of that. She gave me her word, and it kind of went left. And like I said, I'm not mad or tight at you. I understand you might have a higher boss that kind of edits it at the end.
Yeah.
And maybe it didn't come across the way you wanted it to come across, but you out there recording the kids and they playing and doing all of that, but you're not helping the situation in regards to being like, well, how did he get like that? Because it came off how a lot of people perceived it.
Right.
Like, well, tell him to get a job. Like, what are you talking about?
Right. And you were.
Yeah, before that.
Right.
So it's like, you know what I'm saying? So and I understand people that just want to be ignorant gonna be ignorant.
Right.
But it's the fact that I felt as though, like, I'm private as hell. I don't be doing all this.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So for me to share this, it had to take a lot for me to be like, forget it. Like, I'm thinking about my kids. I'm thinking about now to where I'm paying $1,200 a week because I have to now shell that out for me and my kids to basically have somewhere to stay until somebody kind of open up to be like, you know what, man, if he paying $1,200 a week, he definitely can pay $1,500 a month.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right. Can you tell them, since the landlord kicked you out during the pandemic, Where are you and your kids living at now?
Right now, we kind of in a hotel, kind of trying to just make it work in regards to just waiting till a spot come through. You see what I'm saying? And that's why I said in the interview, it's not a problem paying the rent. It's just about finding the place.
Somewhere to go.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of people not understanding now, guys. During the pandemic, a lot of people are not moving. A lot of people are stuck in their houses. And when people do get evicted or have to move, because he didn't get evicted, his lease did not get renewed. And that's what happened. You know, he got evicted, but his lease didn't get renewed.
Right.
Okay, so now he can't find nowhere else to go because people are not moving out the houses that they are in. So now he's stuck in a hotel room paying $1,200 a week because he had to have 2 hotel rooms because they had 7 kids.
Facts.
And his what are you here for today? What are you looking for today? You have the floor.
I mean, more or less, it was just because that kind of made my head hurt sitting up there seeing how the story kind of got misconstrued to where it started off like, father of 7, gets evicted but no, they didn't give the real reason behind why I got evicted. To be like, hardworking Black father taking care of 7 kids, still maintaining and staying in high spirits, spiked getting evicted. You know what I'm saying? Like it kind of got flipped and kind of the context kind of got missing. So, my thing of getting across is just to kind of fill in the gaps. I felt like WTKR didn't kind of, fill in regards to what we talked about. And in regards of
how long was your interview?
It was about maybe about 45 minutes. It ain't no stretch. I mean, it was long. It was a lot. I was saying.
And how many minutes did you see, or how many seconds did you see on TV?
Oh, I seen 2 silly clips of me saying, man, my business dried up and da-da-da. But you didn't know nothing. You didn't know how did he just end up? Why did he have to utilize the rental program and stuff like that? You just kind of assume. Tell him to get a job. Or tell him don't have that many goddamn kids. Or, you see what I'm saying? So it's just
like you were thrown under the bus.
Yeah, by what we talked about. Now, if I would have had known, that would have been the basis of the story. It's like we didn't talk about that. And then even after, I contacted you. Now, Virginia Pilot did a dope job. They did a dope segment in regards to just the facts. So I appreciate, what's his name, Josh Reyes. I appreciate you for doing that.
From Virginia Pilot?
Yeah.
The newspaper always come through.
I mean.
The newspaper always come through.
It's new to me.
Yeah.
It's new to me.
What would you like the people to know out there? I'm going to give you this platform. The camera's directly on you. You got the opportunity to say what you want to say. I'm not holding back. Whatever you want to say, I don't care what it is. You got the opportunity to say it.
All right.
The restrictions that we had before and here.
Okay.
So whatever you want to say,
all right,
you got your opportunity.
All right. I mean, it's kind of cutting short. I mean, I'm not looking for no handout. I'm not looking. I believe everybody needs some help. And right now, it's more or less like they missing the pieces of like I've been working. I've been doing everything I'm supposed to. And it's like the fact that I'm out here busting my ass and doing all this and doing all that. When you step back, looking in the mirror, you be like, well, what am I got to kind of show for that shit? Because it's like, I done already spent like 10 grand in a goddamn hotel when I could have utilized that to damn near buy a house. I could have used that to give me tools for my business. I could have paid something for my kids. You feel me? So that's how I'm thinking. That's what I'm literally trying to alleviate out of my everyday expenses. You know what I'm saying? Right. Because just think about it, right? What are you doing to where you paying for like literally $250 a day? For every day, you got to make sure you got $250. Now, if you can do that, bet, boom, you good. You in the position to already not have to worry about that. But right now, I'm worrying about that. I got to worry about that $250, that $1,200 every week. You know what I'm saying? And I got common sense. I'm like, that shit dumb. You know what I'm saying? Like, to where it's like, why am I paying $1,200 when this man could have just accepted the money? It's spiteful. And that's my main thing. Like, how can the landlords do what they doing?
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? In Virginia, don't act brand new because it's like usually annually they have like 100,000 evictions annually.
Wow.
And this is the only time where it's like kind of went down due to people having some kind of protection over, not just being able to just get thrown out.
Wow.
And then news stations kind of, taking a face and taking a scenario and fixing it for their own narrative. When I opened myself up to kind of have what I was trying to have conveyed, not kind of like father of 7, uses 8,000. I felt like he was swaying it. You see what I'm saying? Not even giving the context of why I even had to utilize that. Not saying that this man just stole $7,500, tricked me with his lawyer, and then basically not really kicked this out
with nowhere to go.
With nowhere, like, you see what I'm saying?
So now y'all end up in a hotel.
Facts. It sounds crazy. You know what I'm saying?
And you have not been able to find another place to live at with you and your kids.
Nah. So if it's a landlord out there, you just looking for a good tenant, and you ain't no snaky landlord, open yourself up. You see what I'm saying? Be like, all right, boom, I got a property. Like I said, I got a big family. You know what I'm saying? So we need at least 3-4 bedroom, but I can maintain it because I got the paperwork showing I'm paying $1,200 a week. It's irritating.
Yeah, but it's real.
Yeah, it's real. It's real.
Guys, it's easy to judge, yet it's hard.
What are they saying? What are they saying? I know something.
But it's hard to be judged. You can't understand no one's situation until you find yourself in that situation. It's easy to point the finger, and it's easy to say, wish I woulda, coulda, shoulda. But until you walk in them person's shoes, you'll never truly understand what they're going through or what they have been through. I am the infamous Miss RHODAYOUNGLIVE. But we're doing an all call for a young man that worked hard here in the 757 that has been wrongfully or unfairly evicted. He feel as though after the money that he had in rear was paid and he was taken advantage of. All he's asking from you guys right now, if you know someone that has an available unit for rent, Norfolk, Virginia Beach, or even Chesapeake, please get in contact with us or drop your comments inside the notes down here. He said he's doing his best to stay with his 7 kids and keep a roof over their heads, paying for 2 separate hotel rooms per night, equaling up to $1,200 a week. And it's about to go up. He said he can pay the rent a week, but every day is a struggle coming up with $250. It'd be so much easier if he had an apartment that was $1,250 a month to live in. Or a townhouse, or a house.
Or a house for that much. I can afford
anything that's out there, you great. Yeah. Anything that's out there that you know that you can help him, assist him with, drop it in the comments. We will be going back later on and going through the comments, and he'll be answering any questions that you guys have. And please, don't be harsh.
Nah, keep it a G, keep it a stack.
No, I said don't be harsh because I give you standing ovation. Because most men leave. You chose to stay. Yeah. You could have. You're nice looking young man. Very nice looking. You could easily walk out the door and go meet somebody else and move in with them.
You know what I mean?
And said let her figure the things out. But instead of him walking away with his old lady with 7 kids and just moving into another woman's house, it's a man shortage out here too.
Yeah.
He stayed with his woman and those kids and helping provide a roof over his head. He quit his job to stay home to help homeschool them during the pandemic when with 7 kids at home that had to be educated. Okay, somebody had to be home with them.
And they all passed.
They all graduated. All of them passed their class. So don't knock him for sacrificing what he had to sacrifice to provide for his kids and make sure they stay educated and on task. I commend you. I commend you for what you done.
Thank you.
You know, this is just a step. This is a stepping stone. What make you weak will also make you strong.
Oh, for sure.
And don't let nobody say to you, make you feel less than.
Oh, no. And I know this guy's playing because, like I said, I don't do this.
Right.
So I think this is part of, stop sitting on your gifts. Push yourself.
Right.
You know what I mean? For real, for real.
If you have a cash out, if anybody want to donate to him, guys, and assist him in any type of way, they can cash app him at.
It's $JUNIPERLO. So $Juniper Low. And that's it, right?
One more time.
JUNIPERLO. Like Juniper Tree, Juniper Low. Juniper LO.
Thank you, Jennifer. It was my pleasure meeting you guys. And thank you guys for tuning in to see this young man in the real struggle, what's going on during the pandemic, after the pandemic, and when the pandemic is on its way back around. People's lives have been affected. If yours haven't, you are blessed. And know that you are blessed. But everybody is not designed to be like you. And everybody didn't have it as easy as you had it. I'm Rhoda Young Live. Rhoda Young Live. Rhoda Young Live. Well, you did sit here first before Wavy News 10, Channel 3, and also Channel 13 News. And my thing I would like to express to the major local news station is, guys, please be worried when you editing people content that they share with you. You might be taking out the best part, the most important part, the part that they hold dear to their heart, that they wanted people to know. Sometimes it's not good to edit out the best part of their interview. Anything else?
No, I just yeah. I just want to live thank Miss Rhoda, Miss Ron.
Rhoda.
You wrote, yeah, okay. Because I felt like the news kind of didn't cover the way that I felt like you was going to basically do it. And I commend you for stepping out there and kind of taking and hearing my story and inviting me to your platform to even be able to do this. So wish you much, success and everything like that. And it was beautiful meeting you.
It was beautiful meeting you too.
Yeah.
You're a stand-up guy.
Thank you.
They need more guys like you.
Appreciate it.
In our community. I'm Rodeo Live. Until we meet again, guys. Wakey out there. One more time to cash out before we
go. Juniper, JUNIPERLO.
Juniper Low.
Juniper Low.
All right. Until we meet again. It was great.